Hey everybody, JCB here with the Awesomist, and you're watching the Awesomist Awesome List. So in just a few short days, it will officially be Future Day.
Wednesday, October 21st, 2015.
And to celebrate this one and only special day in the history of all mankind, let's count down the top 10 predictions made by the film Back to the Future 2. Number 10, flying cars. Okay, let's get the big one out of the way first. Flying cars. In the film, flying cars are the new standard. There are even conversion kits for turning your old roadster into a flying machine. While there are some flying car prototypes in the works, they're not even close to being as widespread as in the movie, nor do they work on magic hovering technology. In the movie version of 2015, everyone has a flying car, but in reality, we'll be lucky if any of these prototypes ever get off the ground. Number 9, hoverboards. In the movie, the hoverboard is a childish, almost toy-like alternative to flying cars, sort of the way regular skateboards are a toy-like alternative to regular cars. Of course, since we don't have the flying car technology, hoverboards are probably impossible too, right? Except they're totally not. While again not widespread by any means, 2 companies have created prototypes of actual real-life hoverboards. Now granted, you have to be a professional skater like Tony Hawk to even stay on the damn thing, and in the case of the Lexus commercial, that guy trained for several months and can only really ride the board for about 10 minutes at a time. But hey, it's still something. In addition to these 2 incredible pieces of futuristic technology, we also have these so-called hoverboards that are more like segways without handles. They're basically self-balancing skateboards that move forward when the rider leans forward, move backward by leaning backward, and turn left or right by applying additional pressure toward the direction you want to go. While nowhere near as cool, these so-called hoverboards are only about $300, which makes them far less expensive and more practical than their movie counterpart. Number 8, power laces. In the movie Back to the Future 2, Marty McFly experiences the convenience of power laces.
Power laces, all right.
This seems much more doable than hoverboards and flying cars, so where do we stand on the power laces front in 2015? Surprisingly, Nike has filed patents for shoes designed with power laces, as well as released 150 pairs of identical looking but non-functional shoes as part of a charity auction. So once again, we have an example of futuristic technology that is available but not exactly widespread. The prohibitive variable here seems to be cost, but we are getting closer. Number 7, holograms. In the movie, Marty McFly is horrified when a 3D hologram of Jaws tries to eat him. It turns out to be nothing but a clever marketing campaign for Jaws 19. So is this technology real in 2015? Well, kind of. We haven't seen any full-blown movies being recorded or projected as holograms, but the technology is getting pretty good. In 2012, a hologram of Tupac performed at Coachella and caused quite a stir. In the real 2015, there's no reason why a few select theaters couldn't use a hologram of Jaws to promote a new sequel or reboot. And really there's no reason why a whole movie couldn't be projected as a hologram, though I don't really see any benefit of doing so. Number 6, multiscreen TVs. The movie Back to the Future 2 was released in 1989. Back then, TVs looked like this. In the film, Marty's son instructs the TV to stop showing art and starts requesting multiple channels, all of which appear on the same screen at the same time. This was actually pretty damn accurate. Even back in the early 2000s, there were TVs out there that could display 6 or more channels, and really today it's more about the software running inside your set-top box than the TV itself. Artwork being displayed on a TV is also pretty common, with devices like Chromecast showcasing art and photos when your TV is idling. Voice commands are also now possible by using your smartphone in either a Chromecast type device or a smart TV. Even the Xbox will let you control your TV with your voice. Number 5, video chat. In the film, an older Marty McFly has a few video chats on a flat screen TV with a coworker as well as his employer and gets fired. Remember, TVs looked like this in 1989. So at the time, a flat screen TV seemed pretty much impossible, though they are everywhere today. The video conferencing shown in the movie is very similar to Skype or FaceTime or Hangouts, any of which can be finagled to be displayed on your TV. The size of the TV in the film is also quite large, but not impossible. TVs are definitely available in sizes not only this large, but larger. Also, having a screen in front of your window that shows a more serene scenery was probably possible back when the movie first came out. It's basically just a projector. Number 4, phone-connected goggles. In the film, that video conference with Marty's coworker is first noticed by Marty's son, who is wearing what looks like a pair of futuristic sunglasses that are somehow connected to the phone. You know, like Google Glass. These are basically just really retro-looking versions of Google Glass. I'm actually glad Google Glass doesn't look like its movie counterpart. Although this is yet another instance in which futuristic technology is being realized in very small doses. Number 3, Baseball trivia. In the film, Marty is surprised to see that the Cubs had won the World Series against Miami. Specifically, he seems more confused about the Miami part, as you can hear in this part of the movie where he tries to explain it.
And go back to the beginning of the season. Put some money on the Cubs.
I just meant Miami. What did you just say?
Yes, not only had the Cubs been long into their very long losing streak, but Miami didn't even have a team when this movie came out. So yeah, maybe the Cubs won't win the World Series in 2015, but the movie was correct in predicting that Miami would have a team. In fact, the Miami team was established in 1993, only 4 years after this movie was released. Number 2. Voice command home automation. In the movie, we see that several features of the McFly's home are activated by voice command.
You should reprogram. It's dangerous to enter without lights on.
Lights on?
Yes. Now look.
This is actually very possible today with the power of smartphones. There are several products on store shelves right now that allow for home automation. Many can be controlled via voice commands on iOS and Android smartphones. In fact, there's a YouTuber named Armando Ferreira who has an entire playlist of videos detailing how to set up Android home automation using Google Now on an Android phone. So be sure to click on this annotation and let him know I sent you over there. The so-called Internet of Things has been increasing the abilities of home automation for the last few years and shows no sign of slowing down. Number 1. Controllerlyst Gaming. In the film, we see Marty enter the Cafe 80s and play a round of Wild Gunman. After he wins, a young Elijah Wood and his friend exclaim,
"You have to use your hands? That's like a baby's toy."
And oddly enough, video games recently went through a phase where it seemed like using your hands to hold a controller was a thing of the past. Between the Wii, the PlayStation, the Xbox Kinect, motion controls seemed to be the way of the future. Fortunately, or unfortunately, the technology was never really refined beyond a gimmick, and the controller's been making a real comeback. But despite the passing fad of motion controls, video games are getting more and more complex and interesting. Everything from virtual reality headsets like the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift to advances in thought control peripherals point toward a future of gaming that is more immersive and more intuitive than ever before. Which kind of makes motion controls feel like a baby's toy. Now, there are a few things from the movie that I wish did exist that don't. Like the hydrating dinners, the ceiling gardens, the roaming trash cans, and a few other things. By the way, did anyone else notice these piles of laser discs and DVDs in the garbage? Do you think the filmmakers knew physical media would die? As for the rest of the stuff that we sort of have, well, those predictions weren't too bad for a 26-year-old movie. I sure hope the next 26 years bring us even closer to the future envisioned in Back to the Future 2. So happy Future Day to every single one of you. What do you think? Are we living in the future today? What do you expect to see in the future of tomorrow? And is there any technology from the film that you wish was commonplace today? Also, were there any pieces of technology in the film that I missed that actually have come true? If so, let me know down below. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, keep being awesome.